soon, if this keeps on, I'm going to be accused of starting the John Fetterman fan club, I guess. But in a plot twist, about for the Democrats, always want to be trying to be obstructionist and try to deny the confirmation of Trump's picks. John Fetterman is actually the sole Democrat that voted for the confirmation of Pete Hegseth.
Well, to go forward,
Yeah, to go forward. Yeah,
not
to
the
go forward. The
confirmation.
confirmation, but to go forward. I mean, I think that's. I mean, it just goes to show you this guy. It could be taken two ways. It could be saying, well, he's going along because he really is genuine about it, or he could be using it as a manipulative thing to let people screw up and give them enough rope to hang themselves. But anyway, it just seems like he's not being unnecessarily obstructionist, and I like that because I think he's sticking with what he said.
But interview after interview, the man said he's just doing what's right.
Right.
And if it takes reaching across, if he likes something, he said something like, if you go to a restaurant, it doesn't mean that you like everything on the menu, right?
That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy.
You go there and you take the things that you like.
Right. I mean, it's just like to me, it's just saying anybody who wants to say, I'm going to always oppose anything this group does, this person does. I mean, let's face it,
I think those days are done. What do you think?
I think that they're trying to make it that way, but it's not going to work because honestly, people want them to get along. They want them to work together. What Steve says is true. What Fetterman's saying is true. You're not going to like everything on the menu. You're going to get one thing that you like. If you can work out one thing, that's the best way to do.
Right.
We need to have or people work side by side.
But that's the way it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be, these people were supposed to be in debates where they're almost fist fighting over things,
right,
to find agreement.
Right. That's exactly.
And it's not supposed to take
years
overnight. It might take a couple days or a couple weeks to come on a big bill or whatever to come together on it.
Right. I mean, it's like, and another thing is true. I look at it this way. I mean, I might not like what Democrats usually advocate, but I just simply look at the simple analogy. A stop clock is right twice a day. And, an analog clock, you stop it, the battery runs out twice a day. That's correct. You might be, the day goes through, but you're going to find it twice a day. You look at it, it's going to be correct.
If you let these guys actually work it out together on the floor, and they would really stop trying to get their 15 minutes of fame and just work out the bill.
Right.
But going back to it, they're not right and left anyways. They're all together on everything anyways. Because look at it, going back to TikTok. I hate to putting that back up. How fast did they get together on that one?
Yeah, it's like, let's get a band.
Well, yeah, because
come over the aisles kissing each other. We're going to take this down.
Right.
But I think you got some questions for us.
Yeah, and actually, I like the last system that we did. So let's go that route.
Okay,
that's works for you guys. So, I actually saw this today. So, what do you guys think about the Marjorie Taylor Greene's outburst with the reporter about the January 6th, where the reporter
they were trying to talk to her while she's going to the elevator about Trump's pardons.
Right.
She said, "What the hell?" And she used some colorful language. How come you're not talking about Biden's pardons?
Yeah, right.
Mostly family members.
And also
or the Millers and other guys.
Yeah. And what they were trying to say is some of these people did some bad things. They committed some heinous acts. She said, what about that? He took a whole bunch of people at that throw.
Yeah. It's like, it's a double standard. I mean, if it did the left, if he didn't have a double standard, they had no standards at all.
But legacy media they're still marching to the stupid drumbeat of the Democratic Party, and they're trying to be their one lighting savior, but they're not.
No.
They're looking stupid. And what she said to them, one of the things I did like about what she said was, you know what? This is why people don't trust you, because you guys are stupid. I mean, honestly,
they're stupid.
Do you think without Trump's influence, a lot of people would get more bold to do like she just did? I think it was his influence that actually pushed it.
She's always been.
What somebody told Trump in an interview is you ruined the legacy media. You put the stake in their heart when you called them woke and fake news.
Yeah, then so that's a devastating thing.
And they've never overcome it.
Well, see, he said it and everybody's mocking it, but then as they continue to unravel themselves, trying to go after him, they've exposed themselves. I mean, they did. They exposed themselves. Being a legacy media, they thought they were unassailable, unimpeachable, and infallible. And everything they said is like, you almost had to have a stamp of divinity from them to actually go any further in life. And now that's being unraveled.
Don't you think, okay, they're congressmen, he's the president, there's a certain decorum when you're speaking to them.
Right.
I mean,
you gotta have some respect.
A little for the office that they hold.
Right.
You shouldn't be calling her Marjorie and things
or
like
ambushing
that.
them when they're coming out of their office.
Or if you do, it's just not right.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. January 6th guys walked through and it was cold and stuff. Tell me what the difference sorry, I know that there were some people's violence and all that, but besides that, all these ambushing things, what's the difference between these journalists going in there trying to get the gotcha moments on both sides, really, on Fox and all
Because
that?
they could never get to Biden, for one thing.
No, but they got these gotcha movements to all these different people, right? You know, out
Well,
there.
But
they
the
wait for
gotcha moments
conversation.
aren't working. I forget what senator was on TV and what's his name? I forget what his name is. But anyways, going back and forth, and he started talking about the things. He said, "You don't care about the senator said you don't care about the death threats that I've had.
Yeah.
You don't care about
Oh, that was-
anything. You only care about what's going on in."
Oh, that was that stupid guy I don't like.
Yeah, but what's but back to Marjorie Taylor Greene again. They should treat the people with respect, and also they're not infallible, and you should be able to call them on things. But there's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it.
Well, another thing is too is that they always they don't do the same approach to those on the left, either the legacy media.
Never.
They never do
You
that.
can ask a question to somebody and be respectful to it to get the right answer.
Right.
Right. You come on. How many times have you interviewed someone you don't like you may not like their position, but you can ask questions and pull things out from them and get the answers you're going for.
If you do it calmly, but they're not doing it calmly. They're trying to get a reaction for one thing.
The knee-jerk response.
So they can get the clicks. So they can get, oh my God, look at me, so I can get promoted here. You know what I'm saying? So I've done this.
But this backfired because I've seen the video. And
Acosta's the guy you were talking about. He's an idiot.
But it made her look stupid.
The
reporter looked stupid.
Yeah, because I liked it when Marjorie Green Taylor actually did use a lot of the colorful language there. You know what? Because honestly, I like Marjorie Taylor Greene because you know what? She honestly is, her and Borbert, those two women, I honestly think that they speak their mind. They've stood to their guns all the time.
But
I like
in the end, there's still politicians and they want to get elected.
And it basically
but it goes on this other second thing about what do you think about Anna Navarro, who's calling Snoop Dogg a trained SEAL for supporting Trump. All right. So when Trump,
you're supposed to ask questions.
So so what do you think about this? But yeah, go ahead. What do you think about that? Because it was on The View, right?
It was on The View, and then
whoever watches The View, I don't understand.
I mean, all he did is he performed, and he got millions of dollars probably, and I wouldn't have turned it down either to perform at an event. I don't even know if Trump was at the event that he performed at.
Well, and Snoop Dogg has trashed Trump, and I mean, several times in the press. So, okay, it's basically he's admitting by showing up after he's trashed Trump and Trump supporters, he's basically doing it for the cash. So that's a businessman. Okay, that's what he's going to do. Let's face it, we've all done business.
Well,
you're turning $1 million.
Because Snoop Dogg now, face it, the man, what is he, almost 50 or something?
No, he's over 60.
Okay, so it's a persona,
right?
I mean, you seen the when they were following his family around, how they treated him like crap and stepping in dog crap, and
he's a henpecked husband.
He's not the person that he is on stage.
Yeah, it's that's what it is, persona. I mean, and you give me enough $1 million, I'd actually say nice things about Bill Clinton. Okay, I mean, and I can't stand the Clintons. I mean,
here's the other side about this. Anna Navarro, it's funny because when he does something, what I don't like about this is hypocrisy. Because honestly, when he says something bad about Trump, they praise him. Oh, look how great Snoop Dogg is. As soon as one of these people like Carrie Underwood, who's actually suing The View, right? There's a lawsuit going on that one. So coming into it. So, all right, what's the other one about Trump firing over 1,000 federal employees and posting you're fired
on social media? That's cool.
Yeah, he fired over 1,000 people and after he fired them, he posted "you're fired" on his social media.
He couldn't resist using his catchphrase.
Trump is Trump, and he's already made the decisions that he made. Nobody's going to change. I mean, you may change his mind, but he's the one that's going to change it.
Right.
Yeah, you have to make the intellectual argument that wins him over.
He makes the decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really cool, but I mean, that's Donald Trump. There's a lot of things Donald Trump's going to do in his ensuing presidency. I'm going to roll my eyes on it.
He's a brand too. I'm sorry. Donald Trump is a brand too.
Right.
And so this is his brand. You're fired. Right. Everyone knows it. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
But you brought up something about, I think it was you that brought it up to me, the real reason why he may have changed it from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Yeah, because what I heard is that some guy laid it out. He said if by calling it, they put a moratorium on, drilling and exploration in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, by changing the name of it, it invalidates it. I mean, yes, it's the same body or water or the landmass or whatever, but it is actually a technical straw to hold on to, and it's it's very possible. I mean, let's face it, he doesn't. He's got lawyers, and he thinks that, so
And he has a reason for everything
he
that
does.
he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't. I mean, they say, well, he's crass, vulgar. He's even the things he comes across seem flippant. He's given some consideration to. I guarantee that. Okay, he's not a fly by night person. He can't be, not in the position he's been in, because everybody's so easy to knee jerk litigation. He's been in positions for years where he had to worry about how he worded things. So I mean,
Right.
if he's saying something, it might sound crass, but I'm sure he's weighted in on what he's saying. He's not that stupid.
About what do you think about the rumors of the DC jail guards about them panicking over the allegations about the J6 guys being?
They should.
They should.
They should be investigated, because there are people that, why were these prisoners, or hostages,
Right.
as President
Right.
Trump called them, the hostages, why were they treated so bad? Why were they put in solitary confinement? Even just the people that you hear about getting out, these box cuffs where you put. Did you see them? It's a big box that goes
Yeah.
on their wrists.
Yeah.
And then also having ankle chains and driving them. The Proud Boys form. I forget what his name is. I forget what his name is, but he said that 40 times over 3 years he was moved around.
Yeah. So
And one time he was driven all over the country just to come back to the place that
Where you
he
ended
started at.
see, this is a sheer arrogance of these people. Like our former representative saying he was traumatized with the events of January 6th. Guess what? I mean, you weren't under serious threat. If you had, what people who talk about insurrection usually know what the hell that entails. It means you're going to do a lot more than carry
But
signs or
it's
walk
just-
through the
But it's just
Capitol.
like AOC saying that she was traumatized hiding under a desk. Come to find out, she was in a different building. She wasn't even in the Capitol when that took place.
Yeah, she was
This
at the
is-
far end spot.
That's a typical Democrat thing. They're always trying. I was there.
Well, it goes back to that one thing Rahm Emanuel always said: never let. David I tried. Rahm Emanuel always agreed that never let a good
Crisis
Crisis go to the waste.
Right, and so it goes into it. But here's the other side about it: is that I was looking at that and I was thinking about something on the way in. I was going to ask you. This is on the list. What do you think it would be kind of cool for somebody to sit down and actually bring these guys who the people who were at the police that were at the J6 thing, and bring the guys that they convicted, bring them together and let them talk. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
No,
you
because I don't think
that's a
these
good idea?
I think the last thing because you gotta think about it, a lot of these guys were like military dudes. They don't want anything to do with these people. They don't want to have a hug fest.
No,
I don't.
No,
I don't.
But here's the one thing I gotta tell you on this. Now I've got a thought about it. Is guess who did not get pardoned and everything? Nancy Pelosi.
Fine.
And guess who's I think that
He's going to go up beyond this.
I think the one thing's going to be pinned on him is going to be Nancy Pelosi.
I don't think he's gonna go tit for tat.
No,
like
he's
you
not.
do. And
But I
again,
did see Mike Johnson put a thing out, and Mike Johnson did say they are going to review the January 6th thing.
right, and they should.
So he's going to do that. And that's not a Trump division.
Yeah,
That's
put it out of his hands. Yeah.
So Mike Johnson, I think, is going to go after Nancy.
That's
Pelosi.
fine.
I think that's good.
if somebody else's idea and they initiate it and they go on that and leave Trump out of it.
No, because he needs to get things done.
He's got.
Right.
He doesn't need to be sidetracked
He doesn't
with getting
right.
people back.
He's got
No.
4 years, but he's really only got 100 days, because let's face it, before they're going to try to build momentum against anything he does, he's going to have to push his
But
the
he's
bulk of his
already
100
done.
days.
He's already done in 72 hours more than more than all presidents combined have
In the last
done in their
20 years.
last 100 days. 100
Yeah.
of their 100
I mean,
days.
Well,
he's
you
just running through like today on the way in, and this is something we can talk about. It's not in here. What do you think about the RFK, giant JFK, and Martin Luther King, all their murder cases?
That's
all that
fine.
being classified?
It's not gonna change anything.
But I
The
think it's a
only
good thing.
thing that it would do is there's probably things in there that people are gonna find out about both of them that they're not. No, I'm talking
Right.
about their personal.
Yeah,
lives.
personal
Right.
issues. I mean,
That's probably. I think that's what for the both of them. Really, what they're covering, because I'm probably going to find out that we're not going to know any more
Than what we thought.
than what we thought, but we're going to find out things about each one of them that probably didn't need to come out.
last
Trump
stuff.
is actually doing more now. One of his executive orders that we'll talk about down the road. But you know the one birthright one.
Yeah.
They did find a federal judge that actually went against it, but we'll talk
But
about that.
the whole point of that, now we can go into it now. The whole point of that is just because no one's ever challenged it,
Right.
and to get it to go up to the Supreme Court, and and after just to challenge it to see what happens.
Just it's
Right.
see the Supreme Court's got to both appellate jurisdiction as well as original jurisdiction like the first time, and this is actually a first time that was something that they thought was solid is now being tested, and that's you got a great point there. And that's how they do that.
That's
They
the
do
whole
test
reason
cases.
he's
Right.
doing it is just to test it,
Right.
and see what happens.
And by the way, Trump knows that it's being tested. Okay,
He
yeah,
said
he knows
that.
it's a test. Yeah.
Yeah, and he talked
He
about
said
today.
that when he was signing.
And he talked about it today in his press conference. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know these people. Oh, he thinks he can get away with anything he wants to. He admits to this. He's going to test.
but
Okay.
here's the other side about it. You know what? You said this best that Trump has done more than most of these presidents done. He's
All
done
of them
more
combined in the first 100 days.
Right.
What do you think about what he's done more? He's done more, and has been talked about of press conferences than Biden's done
Already.
In the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's like face it. Okay, they're saying they want. Okay, we want transparency. We want to know what's going on. Actually, Trump is actually doing to the point of some of them are saying, okay, it's enough. But yeah, Trump, they hid Biden. Obviously, he was seriously impaired, and that'll roll right into
We'll go down
one of
to
our
another
things.
one.
Yeah.
But Politico came out with the story this morning about what a great president Trump is already.
Because he is from a
Political.
business, right?
Political did that. I think another one came on and said, please, Trump, take a vacation because we're going to exhaust our
Well,
race."
that's his angle too, is to just put as much fodder
Right.
toward the enemy line, which is the fake news, as possible,
Right.
because they're back on their heels and they got to pick something to react on, and
Right.
he's already trying something else. Just try to work it in if you can.
Okay. We haven't.
Yeah, it's like we
No,
got
just try to work it
Yeah,
in.
we'll
if you
try to
can.
work it in.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Okay.
What do you think about Trump? Now, I like this one. So what do you think about this? What do you think about Trump prioritizing the trip to North Carolina when he called them the because he said they were abandoned by the Democrats?
I think it's a good thing.
I think
He's prioritizing. He said that. That's another thing that he said off the cuff, that he's going to go there first and let those people that know that they haven't been forgotten. We got some messages or something, John.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. But you said don't like we'll work it in. So
I just asked.
Yeah.
we'll
Yes.
work on it.
Okay. Somebody posed here. It's the same person. A convicted felon president pardoning other convicted felons who attacked the United States Capitol. Yeah. Okay. This is what our conservative values have
Okay,
always
that's
stood
not
for.
even
Yeah.
worth
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah. So it's okay. But
Gee.
what? It's the same. It's the same person
Right.
also that did another follow up on that. So
All right. So what do you think about? I mean, what do you think about? This is the one question I think about the North Carolina thing. The governor of North Carolina is a Democrat,
Right.
and he should have been pushing harder. And he
Well,
didn't.
that's what he hid behind that.
Right.
Okay, the reason he didn't push harder is the same reason Adams, he didn't want to be another Eric Adams. That's
So he
why
didn't
he
want to
didn't
be
push.
invested,
Yeah, he
yeah.
didn't want to say Biden's doing bad
yeah, because
because he knew they'd come after him.
yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, let's face it, the Democratic Party and let's face it, MAGA is different than the Republican Party. And
You can talk crap. MAGA can talk crap about our president and say that you're wrong, and there's not going to be any repercussions from
Right.
our president. He's just
Right.
going to laugh at you, shrug it off, and do what he's going to do anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, but yeah, I just think that it's good that I saw somebody else, a social media person on Instagram, I don't know who it was, saying that Trump, and she heard that Trump said that basically no foreign aid to anybody until these
Right,
issues are
there's a
addressed.
freeze on everything.
Freeze on
right now.
everything.
He already did that.
And that's like, no, I heard that earlier today, and that's why I just, just before I came here today, I heard it on Instagram, and I liked the woman's. I followed the woman that said it because I hadn't been a follower before that, and I liked what she said because I'm so tired of us concerning ourselves more with Ukraine and stuff in our own people. And idiot Lindsey Graham, our friends are facing that. I hate that guy.
No, Mr. Fancy Pants, he needs to be rhinoed right out.
It's
Him, and then Alaska. What's her name?
Oh, Collins.
Yeah, living on her father's name for 40 years or
Yeah.
whatever. She
Yeah.
needs to be gone. They can't do anything about the one in New England. I forget what her name is. Is it Collins? Which one's Collins?
Collins, I think. Is
Yeah, you can't do anything about her just because of the state that she's in. She's fitting for that state.
Yeah, I think that I think the thing is the Democrats are being exposed for people who are indifferent. They always want to say they are so caring.
I don't think. Okay, I think you have to recategorize it anymore. You can't blanket people with names anymore because there's Democrats that voted for Trump.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't just say, write off all Democrats now because they're part of the MAGA.
But I think if they're elected officials and they are part of the party
then- but we
elite,
need
yes.
to sort that out.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll put it that way. Those who are elected officials now, basically, they're circling their wagons. They're in this. They're a cadre that wants to go against everybody else. Those people, we can definitely, like Pelosi. We can't. There's nothing we can say in defense of what Pelosi's actions been pretty much ever since she's been in power.
What we talked about before, MAGA is a movement. It's not right or left. It's not Democrat or Republican. It's his own thing.
Yeah,
For the best description.
Right.
well, see, that's what I like about MAGA because I have an issue. I have serious issues with Republicans myself.
Yeah, I don't like Lindsey Graham.
No.
I don't like McConnell. There's a lot of them I don't
Yeah,
like.
it's like
I don't like Mr. Suspenders from.
I like suspenders.
No.
once in a while he says something.
Yeah, but that's all he does. What else does he do? Nothing.
Nothing.
He gets sound bites on TV, and people think it's.
But those
it's
sound bites
something.
are funny.
Those sound bites are stupid, and they should stop. There should be nothing. Should be.
He sounds like that
televised.
Holtzbound. He got that crackly
No,
voice. like
nothing
Slim
should be
Pickens or something like
televised.
that.
And if people want to know, they can read the transcript.
Yeah,
or somebody can report on it. But their live words should not go out on TV. And that would stop a lot of this BS where they would actually do their job.
yeah, just but I like to hear the live words myself. But I mean, it sounds ridiculous,
But you don't they pick and choose what you hear anyways.
Well,
You don't hear them when people on the other side are going up against them and they're winning, do you? No.
Well, I guess if we all watch C-SPAN, we might catch it, but that's like boring.
No,
Let's watch,
but
watch
you
No,
all
you
this.
don't even watch on that. Even if you watch C-SPAN, you don't get the whole thing.
No,
No,
They get what they
so
want.
what's the sense? You're going to see, he may get tore up by somebody, but he gets one zinger, and then that's what you're going to see.
they're always chuckling like he's always
And
also
it's
so
like we
folksy.
talked before. These idiots are in a room with talking down to the people that they oversee, the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, and they're acting like they don't know what they're doing when they're supposed to have oversight.
It's like if you don't know what's going on, then why the hell you're pillorying a person that you a flunky basically, and you're beating up on them. You put them on the whipping post, and then you walk away and say, "Well, say hey, sorry, let's have a drink together." And that's what it is. It's like pro wrestling, man. I mean, seriously, talking trash to them and stuff, and then actually behind the scenes they're friends, best buds.
Sometimes I think pro wrestling's more real. Than,
It's well, we know it's a face stage thing.
Right.
They don't try.
I couldn't do that.
What about?
Be thrown around like that, even if you think it's fake.
It's,
choreographed.
it's choreographed, but it's not. It's choreographed.
You have to be at the top of your game to be one of those guys.
Yeah, I've seen guys taking, I don't want to go too far, but I've seen folding chairs actually bash over each other's backs, and they literally get bent. So they're taking a tremendous force behind that. So I mean, that's got to hurt, but they know how to absorb that, that blow. But it's staged. Okay, it's not fake, but it's staged and it's choreographed. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the questions. What do you think about the Stargate AI project?
I don't like it.
I'll create a cancer. Yeah, anything with the mRNA.
No,
I don't. I have an issue with
because
that.
that's the one that caused all the heart problems and different things in people. Remember what was the name? Myocardia.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't want. No, do you want little robots going in your body?
That's the reason why I went with the Johnson and Johnson shot when I did go one because I had.
I do think I would like to have AI start looking at figuring out how to cure cancer, but now with the mRNA.
Look, okay, how long have they been? How long have they been trying to cure cancer? Oh, my whole damn life. No, because they don't get any further because they don't want to.
They don't want to get.
They don't want. It's like cancer is like oil,
and diabetes is the same.
They make money from it. And then you look at an oncologist makes 90% of his money from shooting people with chemo. What do you think is going to happen when you see an oncologist? You're going to get chemo.
Even diabetes is the same way.
Well, there's a guy in the neighborhood here. Okay, years ago he was diagnosed with some form of cancer. He was supposed to be given chemotherapy. He refused it. That was 10 years ago. He's still alive. I had a friend who went through chemo because he was had been a nurse. He had respect and
killed him in 3 months.
A few months, 3-4 months. He was dead.
And they had him going all over the state to get transfusions and just all kind and he just couldn't take anymore.
Yeah, he just died.
No more. And then I have a friend, his wife had bone cancer. And my sister was on oncology. I told her what she said she's gonna die. But they had him going all over for 4 months. They killed her.
And it's like, believe me,
with hope. I mean, they had hope every time he would go get a transfusion, or they had transplants, bone marrow transplants for it, thinking nothing helped. She finally said no more.
It's all those things are going to. Every time you go through a procedure, you're into chance
They're
for
going to kill
infections.
you if you go see an oncologist. they're going to recommend chemo because they can. I don't trust them, and I worked in medical.
Yeah. I mean, most of the people I know who are nurses and stuff like that, most of them, they
But
have a real strong reluctance to go undergo treatment for cancers. I mean, like the chemo.
Especially working in the hospital, see how filthy and dirty it is,
I think it's got to be.
and know about all the mistakes because you hear about them, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's anybody can deal with that in day-to-day basis and go back
But
to it.
getting
It's gotta be
back to
gutsy.
the vaccine,
Right.
I'm not
I
good
don't
for that.
think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not good.
Oh,
with
I don't.
vaccines.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not convinced that the
And I
RNA
don't
is a
know
good way
why
to
he's
go.
not back on it again.
Who, Trump?
Because that's the only thing that people don't like is the last time around is the vaccines that were developed.
Oh,
The Johnson & Johnson, like you said, it was Johnson & Johnson, there was another one, I can't remember the name of it, but they were both okay because they were based on traditional
yeah, traditional vaccination.
vaccinations where nobody really got hurt. It was the what is it, the MR?
I think he's more on the. I don't think he's on the vaccine part. I don't think.
No, he is, because that's what it is. They're calling it a vaccine. Why are they calling it a vaccine?
No, I know.
Because they won't be sued.
Yeah, that's
When they call it a vaccine, they're not going to be sued
I didn't like that the first time around.
because it's an experimental vaccine.
and so they just basically want people at the beginning. Oops, I guess we're wrong. We'll abandon that. Well, no, we'll try it some more thousands of people. It's
They
okay.
don't
We got
care
willing
if they
people.
kill
Yeah.
you.
They don't know. My dad always said your doctor can bury the mistakes. You know, I mean, that's basically that's what it is. They move on. I mean, I got to be honest about it. I mean, it's a harsh
But
reality.
like we said, they don't want to cure cancer. They don't want to cure diabetes.
No.
They don't want to make people skin. Well, they do it with these drugs because these drugs that they're giving people are killing them too. Especially what is the one that they were given for diabetes?
Metformin,
No, metformin's one of the best
One of the better
drugs
ones,
anybody
yeah.
can take.
right?
But I'm talking about the shot that people were getting.
Ozempic.
Yes,
Right.
that's killing people and giving them all kinds of
But they were
gastric.
giving that to people without diabetes. They were
That's
giving
what
that
I'm
to
saying.
anybody
They're using it for
weight.
weight loss.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is killing. So they got it either way
yeah.
with that one.
Well, they got people jumping on.
I don't want to make this thing
Yeah.
all about this.
Go
What's next?
Go ahead. Did you want to say something?
I was going to say, yeah, but like I remember. No, I don't want. What I was going to say was going to follow up on that. So we just
Okay.
want to go on. So
I do like this. What do you think about Trump ordering a worldwide one flag policy?
It never. It always should have been that way because me and John were talking about. Okay, you're going into a building to get care or maybe help, and you see all these flags on the outside.
Yeah, you don't
And
need
how
them.
do you feel that as a white older man that you
Yeah,
you
to be
feel
all
like you're wrong anyways with your white privilege walking in there, and you think you
No, it should be a one flag.
I think it's stupid. I mean, it's besides. I mean, other countries you might be in, that flag, represents us. All the other additional stuff might be really seriously in opposition of to them. There might be opposing it culturally. And are we supposed to go
culturally
foist ourselves?
or because of your religion.
All right. I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, it's
You want to add more flags? I'll tell you what. Add all the military flags. I don't give a crap. Don't add LGBTQ. Don't add.
Well,
gay
then
flag
that's
on
why,
it.
and that's exactly why he just said, look, there should only
One
one
flag.
be flag, and that's a U.S. flag.
yeah, because I think anything
And I
else
think
is
that's true.
confusion. That's
Yeah.
actually more confusion. I mean, we don't need more confusion.
I don't know. I think you should hang the Navy flag up since we beat Army on.
I don't care.
So what do you think about? All right. So then now they're talking about Trump's supporters are saying this year's inauguration event is a lot different than 2017.
Well, yeah, what they were saying, and I didn't get it right. What they were saying is by being different, there wasn't as many protesters, and
Yeah.
more people were more accepting of what was going on, and I think that's great. And it's even if you look around in the media, I expected a whole bunch of stuff to happen, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then when it didn't happen, I'm going, what's wrong?
Like I took Monday off.
Where are the screamers?
Right,
where
yeah.
are all these people doing they weren't there.
Like I took Monday off. You guys
Like
did the show.
like the I think they only got like 500,000 people to show up and then they had to change it from the Women's March to the People's March because
Right.
they didn't have enough women to show up.
This
And
week.
from what I understand.
Right.
So, yeah, but another thing is too. I look at it this way. I mean, basically, yeah, a lot of people who had been opposing Trump initially might have came on board, decided to drop it. Another thing is just you just look at it this way. Donald Trump's outlasted his critics. Nobody's got the staying power just to keep on putting himself out there and willing to take the hits.
But that's
Like,
how change happens anyway.
Right, you just refuse to
People keep on doing things in a certain way. The people coming up think that's the right way to do it.
these guys could not kill him. They tried to put him on his deathbed multiple
Right.
different times, and they
But
couldn't
we're
do it.
talking about the protesters.
Well, what I thought about it was I did not see a lot of pink hats going out this.
Oh, no, I
time.
didn't see the. Yeah, that
no,
was
there was no
ridiculous.
celebrities either. If you notice,
I, so I didn't notice that.
none.
So,
There was none because if there were, they would have been plastered all over CNN.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
there were
Madonna
none.
was in back going about, I want to blow up the hospital.
Nothing.
no, when I was listening, I basically listened to the inauguration here and there when I was moving around the house and stuff before, and I was just glad that I didn't watch it. I'm glad it. See, to me, I would even forego the whole formal ceremony except for maybe the swearing in.
Well, I'm
That's
glad
it.
he didn't because he got to sit there and roast Clinton, baby Bush, and Biden and his
and
family. I mean, he didn't directly do it, but the things that he was saying went against everything that he had done and they had done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a say if they.
I told Julie, I said on the whole thing, until he got sworn in on the Bible, I was like nervous that somebody was going to show up with a gun or something. That's what I was nervous
but
about.
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, no, I'm just glad that a lot of people, his critics, I think, are fading because like I said, he's outlasted them. Another thing is all their suspicions and anger and stuff's diminished because a lot of the stuff they were predicting was going to happen in the first term didn't happen.
Right.
They didn't happen. It just didn't manifest itself.
And they don't have the power anymore.
No.
Nobody who watches CNN anymore.
Well,
Who watches MSNBC? Who actually goes, except for older people? Who's got their TV on CNN or Fox News?
Well, maybe people in the old folks home can't. They're losing. The Alzheimer's patients.
But people aren't doing it anymore.
No. I
mean,
mean,
I'm driving down the road. I listen to Fox because I don't have any other news station out there I want to listen to.
So I don't even listen to them. I listen to the influencers on TikTok and Instagram. All these other people. I listen to those people.
But I can't do that while I'm driving.
No, of course not. No.
But you know what? I think this year, my thought was, this year's inauguration was better than the 2017 because he did.
But I'm thinking that's the way it should be. All this pomp and circumstance, and I'm sure they saved a lot of money with security, and it was easier to have security to keep people away. I think this is the way that it should be for now on. I don't think they should have it
out there at the mall.
No, if Trump wants to have something, have it on the 4th of July.
Yep.
Like he did at Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Do something there.
Right.
For his people, for the people, or centrally located in Ohio or somewhere. Let Ohio suck up some of that money.
Or North Carolina or something like that. Bring some of the money back.
That'd be a good idea.
Well, I'm saying I would rather it be centrally located for a lot of people easily to get to in the United States.
Yeah.
I think it is. Another thing is too. That's another thing you and I've talked about before is maybe they should move it from DC over to another location more centrally located.
I'm talking about having a celebration just for Trump.
I know, but I mean, I'm saying about the DC movement.
But do the inauguration at the Capitol building, but not with the Capitol Mile or with that mile,
like they did this year, every year. But I'm saying, if he wants to have a celebration, have it centrally located easily for people to get in a big enough venue that people can see the fireworks and everything.
Get away from the east and get away from California.
Right.
So, all right. So, what do you think about the double-digit hike in homeowners insurance rate for the second year in a row?
That's like
but what I think it is because we're paying for the disasters, the hurricanes, and different things. Right. That's why they're going. I mean, they're going up, and the computer models. You know that they're going after those and looking at what may happen, and what's the word that you use for the tables that they use?
Actuary.
Yeah.
The Lloyd's of London, the catastrophic.
Right.
I think they're raising up because of the catastrophic. So that's where it's coming from.
Well, it's did you actually hear that? I don't know. Yeah, it's been verified that State Farm, one of the big insurance companies, canceled a lot of people's insurances in California 2 months before.
They had to because they capped it. I mean, because some of the people that could have afforded to have the insurance could have had it even at the higher rates. I mean, they're the ones that suffered the most. Think about if you had a $2 million house.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I'm saying is
they could have let the people that could afford it have it and then subsidize the people who couldn't. California's stupid.
Yeah, it's a way not to run a state, in my opinion, but they're continuing on the same path that they're doing. So
one of the actresses that live in California, somebody had a GoFundMe page, and I didn't I didn't get
No,
this. You
I
guys.
wouldn't give a dime to.
Well, anyways, they had
anybody.
it out there, and what she said is, well, you know what? Us rich people need to be rich because we're rich. The poor people, they
That's
don't need
fine, but
anything.
I
Stay
wouldn't be
poor.
given to
What the
anything
heck is
like
up with
that.
that?
Yeah, it's just bullshit.
Yeah, that was like actually it's weird. Okay, so Trump now pauses the federal shore, offshore wind leases, and he's now reviewing the wind projects. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good thing, and also I think they're going to go after. So what they're doing right now is they're just looking at them, and some of them they're going to go after because what they did, what they're doing to the lobster industry and
Yeah.
different things, fish, it's disgusting. And if before, think about it, if one whale would have died 20 years ago,
Oh my God.
it would have been the end of the world. But they've got it's like I'm not saying it's everyday occurrence, but it's been more than 20 of them have died because
Right.
of these
Once a
windmill
week
things.
we're having them dying.
Yeah, I just another thing is too. This is so weird because like with solar and wind, they got to keep on pushing it, promote it in people's eyes. If I look back on historically, if you look at vehicles and all the other innovations we enjoy, people saw it. They jumped right on top of it. They didn't have to push for it. Basically, people were clamoring to get it. Now, if you can't get people to see the value of it real quickly because they have to look at the cost and stuff like that they have to incur before getting it. They're going to be cutting.
No.
It's good. They're not going to be attracted
But you
to
have
it.
to rewire your house. Solar's been around for 70 years.
Right.
Right.
And still it's
Nobody-
still the same stupid basic panel.
Right.
Nobody's-
Been no major innovations because they don't have to. Because it's a game and a scam. They create a company, they get all the
Right.
subsidies that they have to offer, and then they go bankrupt. And then they form another company, and they're getting all kinds of money from the government. There's
Right.
no intervention, and we're getting everything from China, anyways.
So there's no industry being built up here. And
No,
Right.
there's been no major. Think about it. The basic solar panel's been the basic solar panels since as long as I can remember.
Well, I remember the 1970s. I knew people that got one, installed in their house, and the ones that they got now are basically look like the same. I mean, might be smaller to some degree, but they're about the same.
different plastics
Yeah.
maybe last longer and don't degrade as fast.
But if you
But-
look at it, solar has been pushed down our throat for the last 50 years,
Right.
and it has not gone any better.
No, maybe not really hard the last 20, maybe.
Well, see,
Not the fit. At first,
What
it
came
was
out
they like everything. They just tried to get us used to it because remember
Right.
in school telling us it was going to be the future
Yep.
and everything.
I remember actually I was in environmental science class, and we examined that stuff in depth. About the nuclear, the solar and turbines and stuff like that. And basically, our teacher said that basically it sounds all great, but he says right now they're mostly
And
inefficient,
they're still not.
and they're still not efficient.
And the thing about it, if there weren't any incentives, or subsidies from the government, it would fail and it would be gone.
It died on the vine a long time ago. All this stuff would have died years
Or
ago.
they would have innovated and become better.
Yeah, because you got people. Hey, so you just say your uncle gets it. Wow, that works cool. And yeah, I saved this much, and it doesn't cost
Well,
as
come
much.
to find
People
out,
jump on.
I looked at it because I was going back and forth with somebody on TikTok. State of Michigan it has less than 4 peak hours of sunlight on average
Yet they want to kill all that acreage,
a day.
Right.
and they want to kill all the acreage for that 4 hours.
And then if you get snow on, if it's on your roof, how you supposed to? I guess you could. They're heated. I guess would melt the snow off. But if you didn't think about it, and you could go days without solar.
Yeah.
Well, I know the little solar ones I got, like the lights I bought that go around my house and stuff like that. They're great when you got a couple of days, and just before summer hits. Just before that, when the trees are still got pretty much naked, you got some
Right.
sun coming up. They're great. They last all night. They got charged during the day.
Right.
But as soon as there's a little flowering going up on the
The
bushes,
same
they're
thing.
gone.
I've got like a Christmas lights. I know it doesn't compare to a regular building, but they were at first, when we had no snow on the ground and we still had sunlight, they would go because I put brand new batteries in, they would go until like 2:00 in the morning.
Mhm.
Now I'm lucky they come on and when it gets dark, and I'm lucky if they last until 8 or 9.
So only about 2 or 3 hours you get.
And like I said, they're brand new batteries.
And another thing is too, like I said, I've told people before, my grandfather had a electric car back in the 70s. It was limited as hell. I mean, it's so that slop we got going on right now wouldn't have been able to handle that. And
And right
Look at
now,
last year when you had all that snow. Remember?
well, not only the snow, right now, what would have zapped them this year is that we've had -0.
Right.
temperatures, and then we've only got like 5 charge, and then they're all over the county.
Right.
I mean, it's not like it's everywhere. There's only like 5 in the whole county if you want to charge on the move.
I had a friend of mine close his business down last year because he bought a Tesla,
Yeah.
and I had to go pick him up at his house and get him. We had to get him because he couldn't go anywhere because he couldn't get anywhere because of the temperatures being so low.
Right.
He couldn't drive his car.
No,
So why would you spend all that money on a car you
get,
can't drive?
you only get 50%. I guess maybe, I don't know. Let's just say they get 400. I'm sure it's around that on a nice sunny day and everything, and warm. But in the wintertime, it's like 50 to 60% that you get. So you went from that 400 to like 175.
And then you have to sit there when you go to a charging station.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sit there so they give you Netflix so you can watch a movie. But if I'm on a road and I got to go do something, I really want to sit there and watch a movie in a car?
No. But,
stupid.
But again, I was going back and forth with somebody who was saying, okay, but it's a one-trick pony, solar.
Right.
Where gasoline, it's in everything. Everything here, from the covering on the table, the microphones, the paint, the clothing that we're wearing, the glasses, frames, even the lenses.
Yeah.
You can't get away from petroleum products.
No, I mean
it's always funny watching.
It's even in solar.
It's definitely plastic panels. I mean,
and it also
is in the food you eat.
Augments the solar.
Well, that clip we showed from we referred to from Landman. I mean, it sums it up perfectly. It's like 2 minutes, and sums it up perfectly. This idea that we can. Everything that they want to go further still requires energy, requirements to get to build, like metals, like for the casting of those propeller things where they put on the wind turbines and stuff, turbines and stuff, all that. And he's made a point. This entire run is, for its lifespan, it's not going to produce enough to cover the materials and the energy that they use to create it. Right. I mean, it's like ridiculous. I mean,
and the maintenance afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since Monday, gas prices came down to $2.89 in some of the gas stations I've been at.
Yeah, but that's a game. You got to remember what it comes down on Monday. It goes right back up on Thursday for the weekend.
We'll see what it goes up to.
So whatever it is on Tuesday and Wednesday is the lowest it's going to be.
But I do like the fact that he's actually going back into drilling. If we do 4 years, we get it up there. But we got to keep going after that and keep people that want to keep the oil spot versus the stupid solar and wind power stuff. All right, what do you think about Biden pardoning more people than any other president?
I think that because he's got a criminal enterprise, it's going to go with his family.
Done, so what are you going to do about it? On our level, what can we do but bitch about it?
I don't know if it is done. And the reason I'm asking that, can you legally? Because
then you go down a slippery slope. Then every president, do you want a precedent for every president that pardons people for the chance of them being overturned? No, they shouldn't touch it.
No, I don't think about pardons. I'm talking about preemptive pardons.
No, that was the first time if the president can pardon people, it should just be, that's it. You leave them alone.
All right, so preemptive should be good too.
Unless you want to go down a slippery slope.
Okay. No, it's true. Because
do you?
No, I mean 2020.
You want every president because you're going to set a precedent. Well, you don't think the Democrats are going to go after people that Republican pardon?
It goes to the next thing. Look at their one spot. You got Soros back DAs charging January 6 prisoners, even though Trump gave them
with new crimes.
New crimes. I mean, I thought that
new crimes related to, but at the state level, it's not, because you got to remember the pardons. I think it's for federal.
Yeah, but you cannot.
You can't, but they are.
They can actually come up with new charges
for a state.
They can do. I'm sorry. I think they can do it.
Happening.
Yeah, they can do it because double jeopardy would kick in if you tried for you try to get you for the same crime. But this is no, they're actually trying to.
No, I think it's wrong that they're doing.
Well, I think it's wrong
because he is the president and he did pardon these people and they should be able to go free. But that's the same thing. Like the leader, one of the leaders of, I think it's the Patriot.
What state was this? What state did you know?
Okay, I'm trying one of the leaders of the Patriot.
Patriot.
I forget what the name of the group is, but it has Patriots in it. He's finding that they want to make him report to a PO, and he's sent his lawyer saying that shouldn't be happening. They're going back and forth.
Well, that's not the standard way of handling.
Pardon's a pardon.
Pardon's a pardon. That's what I always thought. You clear and free. Like it never done happen.
But the state that he's in is California. I think that's where he said he is. that they want him to for 18 months.
So so if we're doing
No,
that,
it's the same thing as
should
what we
Hunter
were talking
Biden-
about. I don't think that
No.
he should have to go through for what.
Yeah, if I, as much as I don't like what Biden did, I wouldn't be on for trying to force the people he pardoned to have to face a PO when that's the pardoning is a pardon means you leave that behind. I mean, so I don't like that. I don't like what they did. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like changing,
No, it's
trying to apply law.
petty BS.
That's all
what they're
exactly it is.
doing.
That's all it is, man. I
it's
mean,
tit for tat, really.
right?
is what all it is.
That's right. Exactly. You can't. Steve made the valid point. They can keep on coming after everybody. Then you can't do that. We
No.
can't do that. We can't allow it.
All right. So, what do you think about Trump actually getting support from groups that actually support the Democrats or usually back them?
In the past, yeah, it's happening.
It's
Like I said, it began at when he was inaugurated. At there was no protesters really.
Right.
The whole thing. It's like people have accepted it, and they want. I think people after 4 years of Biden and Kamala that they want a grown up in the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly, at least and a functioning adult. I mean, yeah, to me, we bore through 3.5, 4 years of Biden.
I think that
Basically, what do we see from this guy?
No,
That'd be
I
fine,
think
but
the
the
last 4
country-
years we sort of droned through it.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we got a president.
we were living through a nightmare.
We
basically.
were not happy about anything, really. I mean, nothing. There was nothing to celebrate
Well,
under him.
his entire presidency, basically, he was a placeholder. That's all he was. He served no purpose in a zero in a calculation. That's it. I mean, he was a placeholder. I mean, that's it.
I mean,
He
look
didn't do
at,
anything he said he would.
okay, look at the difference of the people that Trump's putting forward to be in his cabinet,
Right.
and then the it's like night and day. And the other people, it was like an award for being gay
Right.
or being a trans. I'm going to put you in this position because you're trans.
How it's like how shocking can you be to the community?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do in the U.S. Trump's putting movers and shakers in that want to move the country forward,
Right.
right? Whether these people be politically involved, that have been around the political world,
Well,
or
yeah.
people have been in the business world. Trump is, I think.
I mean,
trying
look
to do
at
that.
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
He's gonna take maternity leave when they adopted their kid.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did take it, didn't he?
He did,
It was
yes.
like 2 or
And
3
that was
months.
when that crisis supposedly was happening when we were having the problems with shipping.
And he wants
Remember
to-
in
he wants to run for
California?
president.
Yeah.
He wants to run for president 2020.
No, he wants to run for governor of
Michigan.
Michigan.
He's in Michigan now, and he wants
He bought a house here just
Oh,
before
good
he.
God.
Yeah, he's a resident.
carpetbagger, but never
No.
been here before. Now he
No,
wants
it's just the same. What's her name? Nessel,
yeah,
the
Yeah.
AG.
yeah.
She's running for governor, and guess who came to endorse her and make a video with her?
No.
Hillary Clinton.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
how,
that makes-
how stupid would
It's like,
you be? Why would you want to make a video with Hillary Clinton?
It's like I think I'd want to distance myself for anybody,
It's
anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hillary Clinton looks like
especially
Hillary
after Trump won the state.
yeah. It just
Would you want to have Hillary?
It's like I think it'd be an albatross. I mean, she would be. That's why I look at
She
it.
is an albatross,
Right.
anything like that. She's the only one to reach her own.
Right,
Oh,
but
nice.
what I'm saying is, why would you want to have her as the face of your campaign
Well, I would.
and to
No.
endorse you?
Right. Because
She
they're not
thinks-
thinking.
I think in her world, in her bubble, she thinks she's the best.
I
of
think, and I think that the Nestle or whatever, so they think that they're convinced she's still valid.
We
She's
just,
still
I mean, plus Republicans just took over the House and the Senate in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that tell you something?
yeah, it's like the way you govern, the way you want to move the state, the people are rejecting it. So why can't you
And
learn
then
from that?
she's one of the mass Nazis that helped to carry out Gretchen's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. She was the one.
handiwork.
She was worse
She
than
was just as
Gretchen.
bad going after people.
She went after the barber.
Right.
remember?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't want to make people forget the past and look to the future.
They still, in their mind, that's still a great victory or something.
And that's good that
Yeah.
they're that stupid.
Yeah,
There's some still people in the world that
my
think-
only hope is that the Republicans put somebody up like what's that chopper pilot
James.
John James,
Yeah.
somebody like John James, or the sheriff, or it's not sheriff, but the
The police chief.
police chief from
Yeah, he was.
Detroit.
And I don't know why that was Republicans
screwed
that
them
screwed that
over.
one up.
Yeah.
So that
No,
was
because
stupid.
they wanted this woman who had no chance. I can't even remember her name.
she is
this-
smart.
No,
But they
she's
didn't get
not.
behind
No,
her.
she's not. She's nothing behind her.
I don't know. I thought she's
No
smart.
business experience, no nothing. No, we got to have somebody like Trump. You can't just have the cookie cutter, pretty lady.
Chief Craig was a smart guy. And I
Right.
don't know what they.
But that's what I'm saying. The Republicans need to put somebody forward who's worth voting for, or we're going to get more Democrats.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody on the state level who I would want for, who's a Republican I'd want running.
Craig?
Oh, what's
I like Craig.
that's what I'm drawing a
Talking
blank.
Chief Craig.
Chief Craig from
Oh, Detroit.
Detroit.
Okay, yeah, he was like, yeah, he's pretty commonsensical, but did he? I didn't. Yeah, I got to give him more look.
Remember,
into it.
he was running, but they said that his signatures were invalid.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they took 5 people off, and we ended up. I don't know what her name is. It was
Secretary
like
of State.
a Gretchen. She looks exactly like Gretchen, except maybe 10 years younger. It wasn't much of a choice. She was no better than some of the people that they've been putting forward.
That's obvious because you couldn't even remember the person's name. Like I couldn't remember. I was really hard pressed to remember Kamala's running mate. Just we just got done with that. I couldn't.
Waltz.
Yeah, I couldn't even not. I could not remember his name the other day. That's how irrelevant he was always to me. I mean, I can't possibly think I could vote for this guy. Yeah, what he did.
Okay, don't talk. Let me talk about Kamala. I'm going to go over to it. How about Trump refusing to take a salary again?
The
That's
second
cool
time,
thing.
yeah, big deal, right?
Right, it's like we expect it from
expected.
him. Yeah, it's expected. I mean, he's let's face it, we all know he's got the money. I mean,
Well,
look what he
but the
spent.
good thing of what he does with that money, because I think he's forced to take it whether he wants to.
He donates it.
Remember, they made a big deal. He can't say that he's not going to take it because he has to.
But he
Mhm.
donates
But
it.
he donates it to whatever.
I
I
think,
can't. I don't know about you. I can't wait until he has those big meetings with all the business owners and all the farmers and all the
Right.
pastors like he did last time.
Yeah. I think it's a smart move.
I do too. I mean, he knows how to deal with the public. I mean, that's one thing I got to say. He does know how to deal with them.
And he is transparent, even though that they try to say he's lying all the time.
How
He
about
is.
I
He's
like
trying.
to instead of deal, I think interact
Right.
is a better word.
I think guys just, but he knows how to. He's got a winning personality. Like I've said time and time again, he's taken serious critics, moved them over to his side. Without, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Megyn Kelly, his VP himself is a never Trumper or something like that. Now he's his vice president. I mean, how do you do that?
And he got Democrats to come on his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, and that's what the
Tulsi Gabbard,
Right.
RFK Jr.
Right.
I mean, these guys came over on his team.
Well, it's
That's
like
the biggest thing.
I know they have Liz Cheney, who was supposed to be Republican on Biden's side, but let's face it, I never liked her old man or her. So
No,
you know,
I don't think a lot of people like Liz Cheney.
I
They
wish
didn't
she would
like
switch
Dick Cheney
parties.
either. The old blue blood like Dick Cheney.
Right,
The blue blood's
But
gone.
we're talking about Trump.
right.
And Trump is better.
Yeah, well,
The
Trump.
MAGA movie. All right. So what do you think about this Bishop Marianne Edgar Budd?
Yeah, that was
I got something about it, but I want you to hear.
I just don't know. That there was a fix in for that to put that woman in there to get back at Trump.
Yeah, it's like, and he had to sit there and take this basically of everything that he stood for being pillared or vilified. I mean, and he was the mandates he was getting from the people.
You know what? Here's the thing. I've
But
heard a lot of people talk about how bad she was, and they've always brought up different points. That's how people.
But the
say how
best
great
thing
she is.
though, that when they asked Trump how he felt about it, he said,
It's
I
boring.
didn't think it was boring.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything bad about the woman. I think that's all we need to
He's
say
classy.
about
He's
that.
But here's the thing.
I don't want to make an issue of it.
Here's the deal I do on this one. Why a lot of people are saying that she had no right to speak because the one verse. Most people are not talking about the one thing in Matthew 18 where it comes on 15 on the verse 15 it says, if you got an alt with your brother, you go to them silently.
Right.
And she didn't do it. The pulpit is not a spot. The pulpit is never a place. Then if that doesn't
Okay,
work,
then
you take other people.
why does the Pope do it all the time?
Well, that's it.
Pope doesn't have the right to do it, but he does it.
He does. I think he's wrong for everything. He said.
He's I mean, that's what I can't understand about the Catholics. They have one of the worst popes in history right now,
Right.
who's a devout communist,
Right.
but they still look at him like he's worth looking at. How can you not understand it's a scam anyways by the way that they pick the people?
I don't know how I was bewildered by why he had such better candidates for becoming the Pope
Right here in the United States.
Right. And I'm looking at him and it's like, this is the one you want? I'm
kind of getting tired of. I'm sorry, but I am getting tired of the fact that everything goes back to the Vatican. You know what I'm saying? We got better bishops
because
here.
they got more money than anybody else in the world.
Yeah,
but they still come here and they have Catholic charities sucking up our tax dollars and sending it overseas.
Yeah, And that should never happen.
No, I think those NGOs, they need to be done away with.
Yep.
Like I said, we got our own issues. Until we
Well,
take care of them,
but-
we can't be that
But
shiny.
if they want to continue to be Catholic charities and do it on their own
Right.
for the good of the people,
Yeah,
fine.
Let them
Right.
do whatever the other
But
churches
our
do.
the government shouldn't be giving them a dime.
Let them do whatever the other charities have to do. We have to. when
How come
charities have
nobody's
their
upset
money-
about that? You know what I mean? What about church and state? And they're really working for the government.
Right.
We got these Catholic charities. I forget what the name of the one, the Jewish charity. Each church has their hand in the government's pocket, but nobody's upset about it, screaming church and state.
Only ones that really mostly have them in there is going to be the Catholic charities and the one from the Jewish.
There's
faith.
more than that.
No, but I mean those are the two big ones.
Yeah, but there's more than that.
Right. I mean, if you go through the budget, you'll find a lot more.
But
I'm
we
just saying,
shouldn't be giving these nonprofits any money.
do
The
it.
government should be doing it itself.
Okay.
Hire the people and
Or-
do it, or better yet, give the money to the states
And let the
and
states do it
rewrite how things are done. Who better knows their border
than the states.
than the states?
Right. I just think that when it's a nonprofit, I think they should, like, if it's a church, they should be church supported. You know, the memberships of those churches paying dues or
Right.
of tithes or whatever. Use that. You don't have to have huge edifices. You know, if you're really concerned about the poor, then provide for the poor. Don't earmark that money for the situation. I mean, for things that you can give to the poor, food, medical care, whatever. You know, provide that. It
Mhm.
shouldn't be coming from the federal. We're duplicating services. If you just want to get
Right,
a practical
but don't
sense.
you think? Like, I think what he's doing with, I know it's not on the list, but the Department of Education, he's giving that back to the states.
Right.
Yeah, just like I know a whole crap load of teachers are furious about
Why?
that.
It's not going to change. It's just going to be at
Well,
the state
but
level.
it's because, see, the perception of the teachers that group that is basically the NEA, the National Education Association, is the one who created. I mean, who had stocked those people, the leadership of the Department of Education.
They can still have their union and everything. Nobody's saying
No, yeah.
But what it
their
does-
national union has to go away.
No,
or
then well, of
anything.
course not. But
It's not going to change.
But they say they like the fact that they could get anything because everything had this great degree of authority to it because it was their membership and their leadership now heading up the Department of Education. Now that's being
They have
challenged.
to work harder.
Right.
No,
That's
it's
it.
not going to be. It's not challenge. There's not going to be any challenge. It was put together by an executive order, and it can be taken
Well, it's
away
true.
by
By
Executive order. That's true because of Congress did not vote for it. You know, the Congress did not
Congress
vote for it.
didn't.
They didn't make that department.
No,
Who made that? Wasn't that was
that was under Carter.
Just Jimmy Carter and
Who
everybody.
gave that to us.
It's like okay, that was 40 some years ago. Everybody
He
acts like
did.
that was always the way it was.
If you look at the graft, you can see when it came into. That's when we started going down.
Yeah, because
It-
a union is not going to force sort of high standards on the membership and demand more from them. They're going to try to ease up. So, you know, oh yeah, we allow that to happen because, you know, that they can't help that.
but it's better that it goes to the states
Right.
to run it than government doesn't know anything.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't know if you got this, so maybe it's a blind side, but who do you think should have like a say in not only the parents, but and some of the teachers, but who do you think should have a say in what the curriculum should be for any given state? Or, yeah, but okay, but the people of the state, who would you want to
I
draw
think,
from?
I think it should be the community local board. Should be
Because
it.
you know it's already there. The whole infrastructure in the state's already there. The state level is not going to change anything. Just the money is not
Going
going
back
to
to
go,
the-
is going to be given to the state.
I like the fact that the money goes with the kid. So if the kid wants to go to a private school.
But that's
then
not what it's
whatever.
about.
No.
What it's about is giving control back to the states.
Right.
And like I said, the infrastructure is already there. Nothing's going to change, other than you're not going to get marching orders from Washington anymore.
Well, see, I think local control is always best. I do. I mean, I just don't simply think that a federal government level can address the
No,
needs
but
that quickly.
how can Washington know what Michigan needs?
They don't. They, even if we were screaming it, they would ignore it. I mean, obviously, the people in North Carolina for the
All the government really knows is that they want to check out whether or not toads are gay
Right,
or
but
not gay.
but it's better that everything, even FEMA, should be maybe overseen by the.
State.
Well, no, it should be implemented by the states. The money should go to the
Right.
states, but it should be overseen by the government to make sure the states are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
yeah, they should have say you have to have so many. You got a population this much and this geographical area this much. We should have this many staging areas. And event this happens in this area, you can pull all of the resources from this. Yeah, that would be more practical.
Right.
But if you look at Florida, they knew what to do. They know what to do.
Yeah, they've done it so many times, and
Right.
you got adept
You have
people.
a competent governor, though.
Right, and that's what they do. Is just look at what Florida is doing. I mean, maybe it's not just. I know you're going to have to tailor the hurricane to whatever national emergency. I mean, a statewide emergency you might have.
Right,
But
tornadoes,
you can
whatever it might
still
be.
look at how they do that.
Right. I mean, it's like, yeah, you're obviously gonna. Let's face it. You should have a layer because let's face it. Some places might be designated for a staging area, might get hit by a tornado.
But
It might
you,
be.
you remember when we had the CD? What is CDC? No, Civil Defense.
Yeah.
Contractor.
No, I can't remember what the whole thing was. Or was it just Civil
It's
Defense?
Civil
It was
Defense.
CD.
So CD
Remember,
is
you
Civil
had all
Defense.
these buildings with the lightning bolts on them
Yep.
and CD all over. We had designated areas that we could go to. Remember?
Yeah, the old school up there in the
Right.
corner used to be one of them, you know. But
But when FEMA came into being, I can't remember if it was under. I don't know if FEMA was a Reagan thing.
I think it was a Bush.
I don't know.
But before that, remember?
Right.
We had civil defense,
right.
and then we would hear on the radio where to go in case of emergency, where we could take shelter and different things.
We had a civil defense guy that came around to the
Right.
schools and talked about that too,
And
about
so
his
did we.
role and stuff like that. So, and it was more involved. I mean, we were
And
aware
that's
of it
when it was at the state level.
at state level. Yeah, I mean, they did receive federal funds, but it was on the state level, you know.
Right.
And so, I mean, I thought that was for nuclear, for biological, for everything, you know, natural
Sometimes-
disasters.
Sometimes going back to the old school thing actually does work.
Well, especially during the Cold War era, they had such an awareness. They couldn't have it centralized. They had to have it, you know, more in the local control. It had, like I said, it had federal funding, but it had to be at the local
But
level.
you
because-
remember it had the guys with the shortwave radios
Yep.
on their vehicles and stuff that would drive around and
Yeah, and they were all trained. That's another thing. Is that's gone by the way. And they've actually simplified it to get a license, to get a ham license. They made it simpler, and fewer people are going through for that.
because
Yeah.
you don't really know about it. It's not something that's publicized.
No, it's not. I mean,
Trump's actually got this into a big discussion about the future of FEMA.
right.
Well,
So we should,
he's already made his decision. We're just waiting to hear what it is.
All right, so now they're coming out with things about Hakeem Jeffries are going at him about covering up the cognitive issues of Joe Biden. I think this is going to be research that people are going to do. I think they're
I'm
also
supposed to
gonna
ask
pull
a
in-
question.
What do you think about that?
What did you say?
Go ahead.
Well, I think that it was very apparent to anybody who saw Biden on television. He was something screwed up about him. And I mean, Hakeem Jeffries. Okay, I think somebody should be held accountable, but I don't know exactly. Was he more closer to him or
He
something?
was
like that?
He was the second in command. And,
Yeah.
Well, see, I would say that I think that to the entire hell, everybody inside the Beltway should be held accountable because they all knew this guy was slipped up. I mean, really bad.
Don't you think Chuck Schumer should be on that list?
Oh hell yeah!
It should be investigated. Like I said, it needs to be in both that and the mines. Everything needs to be investigated. If not for nothing else, just to let people know what happened. If not, even if nobody's held accountable, just so we know what happened. So and then fail safes need to be put in place so it doesn't happen again.
Right.
But it needs to be at a level. If you're going to say, okay, this, and this needs, then you can take out then you can have the president tested, but you got to make sure it's written in such a way that it can't be used by like the Democrats against the Republicans or the Republic. You know what I mean?
Right. I think honestly, one of the tests should be if the president's wearing diapers and pull-ups. I don't think you should actually have them in the White House.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's.
But
that's a
the
given.
thing
It
is, we
should be
need an
given.
investigation.
Yeah, and it's like because let's face it, that's a crucial. I mean, that's a crucial.
Well, I mean,
role.
because the Secret Service, but they're sworn.
Not to say anything.
Yeah.
That's why they call it secret. But yeah, they had to see the impairment this guy was going through and
All right. So
degrading.
now we're going into the security issues with John Bolton and then John
Mike
Bolton and Mike
Pompeo.
Right.
Both of them had their details removed,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. I mean, they've been out of office for over 4 years,
Right.
so I understand you keeping them safe. But if they don't have a security clearance,
Why have them?
why do they need a detail?
I remember I know somebody used to have a security clearance when the person worked for the FBI, and she hasn't worked for them for a long, long time. And she was outraged that I thought that they should have them revoked. I said, if you're no longer in that role, why the hell do you need security clearance?
Well, I think Mike Pompeo. I'm a little bit more concerned about that one.
No,
than I am
I'm
with
not.
Bolton.
No.
I don't trust him
No,
at all.
no,
I don't
But it's
trust
not
him.
trusting or not trusting. Here's the deal. He was the Secretary of State.
So
Okay.
I mean,
the
Well,
only reason Clinton's got a security detail is because she was a former
Mary-
first lady.
right.
right. I mean, other than that, I mean,
Yeah, they should keep her
Well,
safe.
John Bolton was nothing else except for what was he? Some kind of person to
I
the
don't know
UN?
what he was, some kind of advisor or something.
well, he was an ambassador for a while, I think, too. I mean,
Right.
back in
But
the,
he, I mean, all he said was bomb, go to war.
But the thing is that those days need to go away.
Right.
And that after a while, things need to be taken away. That's just the way it is. Maybe 6 months or a year after you leave office.
Yeah, I think you're right. After you get through your period
And
of
these
time.
people who use these security clearances to make money from,
yeah.
no,
No, it's-
that shouldn't be.
No,
If
it's
you
like,
go to a quote
Why-
unquote legacy media thing, you should lose your.
Why should you be? You're a civilian. Why should you be able to call somebody and talk about what's going on in the
No.
world?
I think it's wrong.
No, I
And
think
they-
it's
and they
wrong.
did
You
that
have
to
no
go-
reason to know. That's what I had a top secret clearance because of the job that I had.
Right.
But my clearance went away, I think, like 6 months after I retired.
I mean, I think that should be the way for everybody because you don't need to know. I mean, if you're no longer in that
guess,
role,
yeah.
what's the point? Now, if they want to bring you back in, then you have to go through the swearing in or whatever, and another background check. Fine, but I mean,
If they want to read you in, they'll read you in.
Right.
So okay. So how do you feel about the House Speaker investigating the disgusting presidential pardons? And I'm thinking this is going to be the ones if John.
Okay, again,
we were talking about this before.
I feel it just needs to be investigated and
Dropped.
dropped because, like I said, once you go after these, then the Democrats will go after Trump if they get back in power.
that's all
Right.
they're going to do is spend their time going back and forth trying to
And that's a
indict
good
each
point.
other.
That really is a good point because honestly, you go after this, you know that the Democrats are going to do everything they can to go back again after Trump. It's not a peaceful transition if you think about it. It wasn't the last time. It won't be this time.
But I think the people coming out, the next group that comes up on both Democrat, people who are elected, they're going to be different.
Yeah.
I don't think the crazy leftists are. I think they're done because when's the last time you heard about? Remember the rock
squad.
stars, the what were they
Squad.
called? The squad.
Yeah.
When's
Yeah.
the last time they've ever spoken about
Well,
anything as a group?
AOC did the other day,
No,
but
but
nobody said
what
anything
I'm
about
saying, as a squad, no, they
No.
haven't.
They haven't teamed up yet. No.
No,
And the only reason AOC gets times because she says stupid things.
Yeah. And people want her to say stupid things, so they get.
and she provides that time. Then she
well,
does it
They
excellently.
get time. They get time on the shows because people
Yeah.
want to talk
And
about it.
They-
Okay, how you feel about the possible deportations of legal immigrants in Chicago?
Well,
This is a good one.
Another thing he didn't write, but what Chicago's doing, and also I don't know if you've seen Detroit's doing the same thing. They're educating these immigrants on their rights. And there's a council person because she lives in a heavily Hispanic area and she's worried about the illegal immigrants. But that's not what they're going after right now. They're going after bad guys.
Well, the one I saw that they're putting in he was screaming and stuff about, he was like, he hates Trump and all this stuff. He was convicted of 17 crimes since he's been here. He's from
the
Haiti, Haitian guy. I mean, 17 crimes. This guy's not a
But
stellar
that's-
individual.
But that's the type of people they're going after. And I don't, you've probably seen the news
Right.
today. He wants to work with the jails or the sheriffs in the
Right.
local areas to get the people while they're incarcerated and take them out of the country. And a lot of these sanctuary city places or cities are not letting them into the jails. And what he's saying is too bad, too sad. If we go get them on the street and there's illegal aliens who haven't committed any crimes, they're going too. If you let us just take them out of the jail, they're the only ones that are going to be leaving.
That'd be the equitable way. And, I think that would be, because let's face it, not every one of the people here
No.
legal are bad
And I
people,
still
but-
think it needs to be a case by case basis.
Exactly.
Because if somebody is doing well, it could be that they have a business or whatever. You don't know what mindset some of these people have when they come into to the States. Because again, you got to remember, Biden was holding their hand, bringing them in, so they
Right.
didn't feel like they were. I can understand how they feel like they weren't doing anything illegal.
just like the January 6th people, they were like a guided tour, what I saw, and now they're saying they're insurrectionists. I mean, I thought we're being guided through this tour. I mean, that's what a lot of
Or you, in some cases, you didn't even have to go to Washington to be
Yeah.
have 3
Some
years.
people
in
just
jail.
got you.
yeah, just
But I think
But-
the thing is that's where the mayor was all, oh my God, I'm not going to do this one thing. And Holman said, you know what, I'm coming in. And then Chicago's that. He's going to start with Chicago.
But the thing is, do you think, and what I think is that it was that they faked them out by saying that they were going to go to Chicago first, letting them think that they're going to go to Chicago, and then they went to different places instead.
Yeah. Holman is not a stupid idiot. He's a very intelligent man. And he's looking for the criminals. He's not looking for the guys who
And
actually start a company or work on
Right.
something or do different
Right.
things. There are two types, like what Steve
they're not
said.
going to go after a law-abiding person.
No, he's going after a person who wants to like the
Sell
Venezuelan gangs.
drugs or break the law.
Yeah, the guys in the gangs that are taking over those apartment complexes in Colorado.
Right.
Why that mayor is not
No, but the
doing
thing
anything
is,
about it is
they're
stupid.
not. But what I'm trying to say is, Holman is not giving them their sound bites either.
Nope.
You don't see any other than that Haitian guy yelling out the window.
F-
I love Obama.
Yeah,
Obama.
Obama, Biden forever. Yeah, yeah. It's like if you, I mean, you're basically that's not a glowing testimony for people to hear of saying he's connected them, their names to his activity and himself. I mean, it's like okay, you're backing this kind of guy. No, we don't want you around either. You know, Biden or Obama. Well, Biden's gone anyway.
Well, when Biden came in, he was giving everybody the like they gave him the blueprint how to come in and stay here.
Well,
It was a big old welcome package to come on vacation. If you can walk through these mountains, come see us. You know.
what do you think about Trump categorizing the cartel as terrorists?
I think it's
They
smart.
are terrorists.
And
Yeah.
saying when someone said, "Are you going to send special forces into Mexico?" I don't know. Could happen.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, that was a cool reply.
Well, I mean, what other reply can you
And-
get from a stupid question? I mean, it's like, okay, well, do you want Trump to tell you, okay, I'm going to go bomb these guys on this day?
yeah, it's like
I mean, some of these legacy media reporters, I wish somebody would think before they ask a damn question. Yeah, it's
And
just
I can't
stupid.
wait till the first press conference. I want to see how that is because I already seen Charlie Kirk. He's got a stringer there that already. I don't know if you've seen the interview.
No.
He's got a person that's going to be in there, and she's going to be able to ask questions.
Nice.
And what it's going to be is they're going to be pooping their pants because they're going to want to ask gotcha questions, and these people will actually be asking real questions.
Well, Peter Ducey's staying on, and I like that because he asked real questions. He did for the last 4 years. He asks them now. I like the fact. I do like Peter Ducey. His questions are smart.
I don't care.
No,
I just
know you
just
don't.
want good questions, and I want a lively press conference. I don't
You
care
put Jay
who asks it.
Acosta in there, it's going to be a fucking mess.
I don't think
But they
it
gave him a
lasts
show.
because Trump's already did. He shut somebody down. He told him that he was a disgusting.
That was Jay Acosta.
Yeah,
the
just
first
gonna say,
time.
No.
But the last few weeks-
Recent, there was
yeah.
a person that kept on harping on something, and he said, "You need to be quiet. I'm talking."
Right.
I like that he shuts them down. I like that all politicians shut these people down
Yeah.
when they're trying to act stupid, like they're somebody.
Well, it's like we were talking about before. These guys need to treat the people they're talking to with some respect. I'm sorry, just because you have a badge doesn't make you do anything special. I'm sorry, it doesn't put a bulletproof vest on you. You do whatever you want to.
well, see, I think you've alluded to it earlier. That's like a lot of times if I'm interviewing somebody, I just let them talk.
Right.
And eventually, I hate to say this, but if it's something crucial or something critical, if they're going to just let it unfold, they're going to give themselves enough rope to hang themselves.
Right.
Basically, so
But
you just
we're
let them
not.
talk.
But people
don't-
that come in here, we don't
do that. We don't do that,
We
but-
keep them from doing that.
But,
Right.
but I mean, it's like if you could do that if you want to, if you really kind of want to consider the journalist, it's going to be a hard hitting journalist. You can just do that. Just let them talk.
Right.
You know, because eventually they're going to give you information you can grab and use. But anyway,
Well, I think it's time.
yeah, I think to play the music.
Yeah, time to play music.
Okay.